Good evening, Speed Gaming. Welcome to the conference finals of Season 5 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We have a great game for you tonight. It is the third game between Perfect Unadulterated Gaming Squad, aka PUGS, and the Eastern Skippers, aka the Eastern Skippers. I'm Drosy. I am here with my good buddy Sabotender, who is going to tell us about these runners who I'm sure none of you are familiar with.
Yeah, two big names here. Thanks, Drosy. Looking forward to this one. These runners really need no introduction. Andy and Zelga, both top-tier runners here. The series between these two teams evened up earlier today with Eriror taking a win over Dr. Marty. So we're set to 1-1 right now. So this is kind of a big turning point for this best-of-5 series here. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this one. What mode are we playing today?
This is hard Enemizer, so all the overworld and dungeon enemies are shuffled. We have a full boss shuffle, which means all bosses have to appear at least once and 3 appear twice. And the hard item pool, just to, throw a bit more of a wrench in the works, as both runners start in Sank and find the Moon Pearl right off the bat.
Ooh, nice find early on.
But yeah, I'm expecting some shenanigans as we see a green pendant in Hera, and it looks like regular crystals in Eastern and Desert. Yeah, I'm expecting some shenanigans. If you haven't seen the first two games in this series, they're really both incredible watches. In both of them, the player who seemed to be in Go mode first wound up not being in Go mode, and in fact wound up losing. So there were twists and turns in both of them.
That's really interesting. I noticed that I was doing my homework and I saw what happened in game 2 today. So yeah, really interesting stuff. So it shows that these two teams are evenly matched. All runners on both squads, really solid competitors. So it's an exciting series to be watching here tonight.
And we find some bombs there in the Lost Woods. Nice to have going into CAC. And there, just to show its hard mode, is our first green 20, which, since we don't have anything yet, that has to be a mail upgrade, right?
Yeah, that would be the case, yeah. So both runners heading over to Kakariko Village here. I just want to give a shout out to our tracker today, Link Force. Clicking those buttons, really appreciate that. So show some love to our tracker here.
And Zelga is heading away from... Oh, he wants to sell a fish to the bottle vendor. That's a good idea. Andy doing a more conventional route into Blind's Hut. Fish generates a random reward, right?
I think so, yeah. Oh, little fun pack there.
Yeah, definitely. Some arrows, some bombs, some cash.
Meanwhile, kind of like a nice little starter kit there.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Blind's Hut has enough cash that we'll be able to pay the bottle vendor.
All right. Not really seeing too much yet, but it is early days. More money and heart pieces in the well here. So yeah, not much in the first two kind of big spots that our runners usually end up checking.
I was looking at some history between these runners, and what's interesting is Andy's team last year, which was Pug Trio, which was a totally different team, faced the Eastern Skippers, then the Spoilers, in the conference finals. And Andy wound up beating both of Zelga's teammates, Shady Force and Dr. Marty, but did not face Zelga.
Oh, interesting.
Zelga faced Solsky on Andy's team.
Ah.
And took the win, so...
Oh, it looks like a bottle vendor was quite generous there.
Triple your money?
Yeah, I'd take that.
Seems like a good investment.
Yeah, clearly he doesn't know how to do business right. That's why he doesn't have a roof over his head.
Yeah, outdoor market and all, can't even get a tent. So,
Yeah, I thought we were doing Enemizer here, but as chat is pointing out, and on screen there we saw that the chicken hut was just a chicken hut. Usually that room
I
is a
didn't even
nightmare.
think about that.
Canis Amaria, so we got at least something to do some attacking with.
And as Chad also commented, Andy had to go buy bombs in there, whereas Zelda got plenty of bombs from selling the fish, so he didn't have to go shopping.
We'll see if that extra little bit of cash in Zelga's pocket pays off in any kind of way if we need to do a trip to Zora early. But other than that, I think we're both sitting pretty with cash.
Or, the possibility if Zora does have progression, that both runners blow it and then Andy doesn't have Kiki money. There's always, something crazy like that. And it looks like both runners are now Uncle routing.
Yeah, we'll see how bold they get with a dive into Hyrule Castle. I find that the castle can be kind of gnarly, especially if we're heading, further into the back. If we're getting really bold, it's kind of a dangerous move in Enemizer to head back there.
Oh, I just realized something else about Zelga selling that fish. One of the things he got was a full magic jar, so he can use that Samari to his heart's content. Andy just has a bit of his magic meters, so he only has a few shots.
Ah, interesting.
So do we think Zelga must be going into escape, otherwise why would he bother walking out of Uncle Tunnel? Of course, escape logic is just like any regular open mode. If this chest isn't a small key that Andy's about to open, then the next two aren't in logic yet.
Yep, good point there. So what we're seeing is stuff that we don't technically have access to, but we'll check it out anyways.
Yeah, I think with it being normal open mode, the runners are going to assume they'll get gloves soon enough to do back of escape. Because since this is Enemizer, you don't necessarily want to do Dark Cross without a light source when you can't even see what the enemies in there are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the worst kind of blindness to have. Ooh, bow.
Well, that's an interesting thing to find out of logic. I wonder if Lamp is going to show up soon. And maybe there's a small key in Dark Cross to put that in logic. Which would... And if Lamp shows up, then Eastern's in logic too, because Eastern still logically requires the bow, even though you don't actually need an Enemizer.
Right, yes.
Both runners also remembering that Henosis, whatever you want to call them, can be taken down by a single bomb.
That's a pretty funny little quirk of their design, that the thing that they're tossing out at everybody is actually their #1 weakness.
Can dish it out, but can't take it in, right?
That's right. Alrighty, some South Shore stuff here. Hopefully pick up a little bit more to give our runners some stuff to do.
Yeah, seems like pretty standard routing for both of the runners. They kind of have each other's numbers in terms of doing the same routing.
Heart Container, pretty nice find here. You're not going to see too many of them in the hard item pool, so when one is right there for the taking, absolutely grab it.
Hey, Divergence!
My God.
I was going to say, a lot of runners playing against either of these guys would make unorthodox routing decisions because they'd be really scared by either of these opponents. But Andy and Zelga aren't scared by each other.
No. The slowdown that Enemizer brings at times is a little bit rough. Is that a glove there in the Moldorm Cave?
So, if the small key is in back, that would actually put the bow in logic.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Andy gonna show us that he came all this way for a big 20.
That is really annoying when that doesn't pay off, because that one-off check, like, you got to do it at some point in most seeds, but when you make the effort, when you could have gone, mini Moldorm, to only be rewarded with, a bunch of junk, doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I mean, Desert's a crystal, so chances are you're gonna be checking a Gina at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything. Well, I mean, I guess that glove was pretty nice, but other than that, we haven't really seen that much around here.
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing, but looks like Zelga is setting up to fake flipper here. He's got the money for Zora, so he could make that play. Andy has also picked up enough cash for that, so both runners got a lot of moolah.
Zelga not even checking Hylia Island.
I feel like swimming in Enemizer can be pretty dangerous, so I don't hate the idea of just going right for what you're looking for without wasting any time in the water.
True. Well, we got a mushroom. If we could get to Magic Bat, we could fake powder it.
Oh, yeah, could do, actually, yeah.
And there's Quake on Zora Ledge. I imagine Zelga is going to do some splash deletion to get to it.
Some pretty unfortunate enemies here springing up between the fire bars and that exploding dude.
Don't you love getting a heart and in the process getting hit and losing a heart?
Oh yeah, happens all the time. Feels good.
Let's see how Andy plays this fake flipper scenario. Whoa! Thanks, Solsky.
Jeez, yeah. What the heck?
See, if Andy just knew this was Solsky's seed.
Yeah.
Oh, he does have Zora money. I imagine he will make it there and get his hammer. And Zora's even in logic with that glove. Though the rest of these super checks aren't. Why did Zelga take the long way around to do this?
Something about the setup got a little bit goofy, and he kind of bailed on the attempt.
Oh, okay. I'm not up enough on Ancilla Splash Delete to know the nuances.
It looked like he pulled it off like successfully, but I think the bomb placement just wasn't sitting well with him, or he couldn't quite get into the spot to dive off the waterfall just quite quick enough, and so I think he just, to stay safe, he just kind of bailed on it.
So here's our first look at Back of Escape, and interesting enemy selection in that room.
Yeah, as always.
Hey, an actual full heart container. What is it? We get, I think, 5 of them before the rest start to turn into big 20s.
Yeah, it's not many. So yeah, our runners are finding all the goods.
Actually,
With
maybe
regards.
6.
6? Yeah, okay.
I think 6 heart containers, 16 heart pieces, and sank heart are what you get.
Nice. Well, we're already into the Dark World.
Wow.
5-6 crystals at Swamp and Ice Palace.
And our remaining pendants were Pod and Mire.
Yes.
Wow, very clean. Splash delete there by Andy. Just goes right down and does it.
Hook shot here in Hype Cave and a whole lot of cash. A lot of cash.
There are 5 300s in the game, and 3 of them were in Hype Cave. I think that meets our cash needs for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think we're good, yeah. Alright, so Zelga just going to finish up this first little trip into the Dark World by heading west here to check out Stumpy and the Dig game.
Oh, I just realized process of elimination, Dark Cross is the small key that would put the bow in logic.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Oh, Andy gonna get that hook shot too, it looks like.
2 quick digs for the Dig game there. Just a piece of heart, but a nice little pickup anyways. Didn't waste too much time.
Now, Zelga heading east. Do you do Pod and Eastern in this scenario, even though you don't know who's necessarily in the dark?
I mean, it might be worth, you know, doing a couple of dungeon dives at this point. I mean, I am disappointed that Zelga is going to Eastern and not skipping Eastern, but, you know, can't have everything, I guess.
And of course, we don't know whether we can beat any given dungeon because we don't know who the boss is. And
right, yeah.
there is a Trinex out there somewhere. Speaking of Trinex, there's the ice rod in Saha's closet.
Right on, right on.
That can certainly come in handy if the boss winds up being, say, Lanmo. But yeah, I think between the hammer and the hook shot, we can beat everything that isn't Trinex, though some bosses might be a bit tough with the hammer. Oh no, we don't have Bombos or Fire Rod if it's Cold Stare.
It looks like Andy is going to go for Skullwoods, Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts, that kind of stuff. So a little more divergence here. We're going to get to see a little bit more of what the seed has to offer us here. Or actually, yeah, as we're seeing in chat here as well. Yeah, maybe up the mountain. Lots to look at up there.
Yeah, hookshot and hammer gives us the entire light mountain. Well, I guess except for Ether Tablet.
This can get kind of messy here, but it looks like the dark rooms are cooperating for Andy there. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, and that's a risky one with the old man, because if you die in there, you respawn in there and can't do anything else until you're out of there. But that Cane of Burner will make future dark rooms a lot easier. There's the compass, and the boss is Trinex, so I guess we're not doing that right now.
Yeah, of course he would show up this early. That's gross.
Well, that's why you're supposed to skip Eastern, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess we got the goods to do Spike Caves, so why the heck not?
Oh, looks like there's a Lionel here in the dark room in Eastern, and Zelga, trying to use the hookshot for echolocation, gets hit by a fireball.
Yeah, that's rough. Oh, first sword.
Wow, Spike Cave of all places. But yeah, it looks like Zelga's now gonna follow Andy up the mountain.
Yeah, even though we're still looking for either the lamp or the flute to get up there, both runners are just trying to, maybe get a little bit ahead. Oh, actually, Zelga maybe
Spoke too
staying
soon, okay.
in logic here. He's gonna go for the Village of Outcasts, Skullwoods, and Thieves Town.
You know, given Andy, why do I have a feeling that the boots are in East Death Mountain?
That'd be a nice find.
Oh, and chat asking about who chose the mode. Andy chose the mode. The Pugs are the higher seed, having won their division. And since we know this is going to Game 4, as we find the Fire Rod there in Paradox Cave, as well as a Master Sword, wow, Death Mountain is the play. But yeah, for Game 4, then whoever is playing from Eastern Skippers will get to choose the mode for that.
So it feels like, we're on the verge of finding, the lamp or the flute. It just seems like that's the next item in the actual progression. Andy's obviously breaking that right now by being up on the mountain, but it just feels like that's what we're waiting for at this point.
Oh yeah, and Eastern is finishable now.
Yeah, somehow we've got both rods. All right, so Chow of Hera is the green pendant, but we'll have to see how far Andy decides to go with this little dive in here.
Having found the big key, I mean, he can't. Well, oh no, he has the Fire Rod. He could do Hera Basement if he wanted to, but I think he's gonna hope he finds both items otherwise.
Yeah, this should be a nice little play for his routing. Once he gets over to Saha, he'll be able to turn in a green pendant and maybe pick up something interesting there. Oh, there's our lamp. So we've now got the access to the the mountain here.
Yeah, that puts basically everything in logic now because, well, doesn't put the mushroom in logic, but I think every other item we've gotten is now in logic.
Oh, Vidi. Okay.
Yeah, stabbing away while using Cape of Burna. Zelga having the cape will be in a bit better situation here. Because if you put on the cape and keep slashing away, you don't actually use magic.
Yeah, it's much better all around. Nice fights from both runners here, though.
So I wonder if Andy's gonna be tempted to do Eastern now that he has the green pendant.
I feel like it might draw him over there. I think that's maybe what he was sort of thinking to do.
He'll burst do Spiral Cave, of course.
Yep.
One last chance to get, like, the mitts or the boots or something. Zelga's taking that cape and gonna check Bumper Ledge, which makes sense.
Yep, you're right here.
Jeez, Gibdo and Stalfos Knight and Spike Cave, lovely. All for a boomerang. Now, the Skullwood Stip is going to be unfortunate for Zelga because we know where the Fire Rod is.
Yeah, a little bit of time lost, unfortunately, in the routing will be a little less clean, but hopefully you find something worth his trouble here at least.
And Andy's heading to the village area. Ooh, that was a nice find, Mirror and Skullwoods.
Seed is kind of progressing along pretty quickly here. Lots of items dropping, lots of good items that we need to kind of keep moving things forward. So, yeah, nice pace so far.
Yeah, what do we still need? We need the flippers for Swamp. We may need the boots for Desert. We need the mitts, of course. And we'll need either the flute or the book to get into Desert.
Yep.
Oh, so Zelga's taking the mirror and gonna check Graveyard Ledge. Not a bad one since you're isolating it otherwise.
Yeah, seeing as we've seen no other pieces related to, the King's Tomb or, Bonk Rocks, you might as well just get this awful check over with now.
Yeah, and then Zelga is in a pretty good position to do Death Mountain.
All right, Zelga finding another heart container, not going to turn it down.
So yeah, this looks like the mountain play for Zelga. So did Zelga just find the second item immediately in Skull Woods, and that's why he was out of there so quickly?
I have to assume so, yeah, because his little dip in there seemed pretty quick.
Yeah, whereas Andy full cleared the front because he doesn't know about mirror in the middle. Though Andy will save himself a trip to Bridge Chest by getting the second item here.
Yeah, Andy with the fire rod in hand gets to keep on going here in Skullwoods and finish it off for his first crystal in just a little while.
Did you see that guard who was, caught in the out of bounds section of Old Man Cave?
Oh, dang, I missed him.
He was trying to charge at Zelga and couldn't because he was out of bounds and couldn't get in bounds.
Feels bad, feels bad.
Sure we even know who's the boss in here. I don't think I saw Andy check, but he can beat anything except Trinex. And it's blind, so he's got Burna out. Burna strats are always a good way to fight blind, especially in this somewhat small room with the spikes around.
Yeah, this is a particularly annoying place to find blind, but yeah, this is going to work out pretty well for Andy. This final phase is a bit rough because he's not got any magic left. No problem.
It's Andy. So we definitely weren't going to know the boss in advance because the boss was holding the compass.
Yeah, that figures.
Great logic trick there. There is nothing in the logic that says the boss can't just hold the compass and keep its identity secret.
I mean, kind of a big brain play by the boss, to be honest.
The Enoch's just throwing its bombs down the hole. That was kind of funny.
It was, and I thought I noticed a little like sweat popping off the bomb there as it fell through the hole.
The bomb's like, you're not really throwing me in this hole, are you? Oh,
No,
wait, you are.
Don't do it, please.
Okay, so just to clarify something in chat, there are different boss shuffle modes in Enemizer. There's simple boss shuffle, where the duplicated bosses are Armos Knights, Lanmo, and Hera, and then there's full boss shuffle, where any 3 bosses can be duplicated, and this mode is full boss shuffle.
Oh, right, Zelga's here without swords, so this really makes this fight a lot less fun.
Yeah, because he had the mirrors, so ironically he could come right up here.
This is one of those situations where, yeah, you have the item that you think is helping you out, but really he's going to get over to east side, and he's going to be really upset to find 2 swords over there.
Well, one's in Spike Cave, which is probably going to be his absolute last play on the mountain.
Actually, true, you're right, yeah.
What does Vidi take? 16 hammer hits, I think?
It's a lot, right? And you keep thinking that, oh, this is going to be the last one, and then he goes on forever. He's got so much life.
Where did Zelga get that bottle? I vaguely remember him picking it up, but I might be having seed bleed.
Oh, spec top. Okay, yeah, right. Makes
Oh,
sense.
because Andy didn't have the mirror. Ah.
Ooh, Zelga going in for the second item here. So this is something new. Andy skipped on this one.
Interesting time sync when you have all the stuff on East F Mountain.
I wonder if this might be a little bit of metagame where Zelga maybe knows that Andy likes to skip this or something along those lines, and so he's just making a play on this, assuming that his opponent's not going to do it.
Yeah, it's just definitely a time sink though if it's nothing.
Ugh, yeah, it sucks.
Oh yeah, chat reminding us that Andy sunk that time on Agena, which isn't quite as much time to sink, but still. And Hera Basement is much of a waste as Agena.
Yeah.
Oh, so Zelga's gonna do Spike Cave now before he does East F Mountain. Interesting call.
I guess it's just a quick save, quit, and then back to old man. I can see the reasoning behind it, I guess. Andy making quick work of the Helmosaur in Thieves Town there. I don't know, is he going to dive deeper, or is he going to be satisfied with that? Looks like he's good to just
No one
bail
does
out.
back of Thieves Town in Enemizer, right?
I don't think. It doesn't seem very popular.
Except for Gamachu.
Oh, yeah?
Gamma routing dictates that if there's something in the back of Thieves Town, you do the back of Thieves Town.
Hey, I like that logic. Alrighty, so our runner's coming up to being just about back on like even ground again here. We're starting to run out of locations to check. It'll be more dungeon diving, I think, ahead for our runners, and where they decide to go, we'll kind of see in the next few minutes.
Do we think Andy's going to do Pendant Pod?
I think the way that he's cleared the map so far, he's thinking that it's probably a decent enough location to check, so why not?
I mean, I guess you check Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah, pyramid and catfish, like, at this point, I think you might be waiting for boots or something.
So Andy is just going straight to Pod. He'll probably duck in and do Saha on the way. Get his Ice Rod.
Seed seems to be like, I don't know, it's stringing our runners along pretty nicely. It feels kind of linear. It doesn't feel like there's like a lot of, like there's going to be a couple of like choke points that we're coming up on here. The chat's pointing out, flute we're still missing, mitts we're still missing, flippers. Like one of these things is going to show up and it's probably going to be in pod.
Unless there's something on Ped, though, our entire Hera visit was a waste.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And the only thing that could be on Ped is Flippers, I think.
Yes, you are correct there.
Or maybe Turtle Rock Medallion.
Oh, maybe Zelga doing that mushroom turn-in. Yeah, looks like it.
Interesting. Wonder if he'll go back to Eastern and beat Trinex now, or if he'll go beat Moth. But Moth doesn't, I mean, Moth's not going to have progression. He knows he has 2 items out of Skull Woods, and Moth's just, well, I'm saying Moth, it's actually blind. Force of habit. Apologies. But he can just do that as leisure.
Exactly, yeah. When you know you've just got a boss kill there, like, yeah, you're just putting that off until the very end, basically.
Mushrooms
Okay.
giving red meringue. Zelga thought about leaving without it, decided, I'll take it.
Looks like he's on his way to join Andy over on that eastern side. He'll have to get a portal back and enter the Dark World, though, first. Likely, at least.
Yeah, so you think he'll go around to the Flute 5 spot? Seems likely.
Yeah. I get the feeling that Zelga might just do pod first, knowing that he knows he's got Trinex ahead of him in Eastern, and
How deep in dependent pod do you want to go?
I mean, I feel like you're gonna find one thing and be like, yeah, this is probably the thing, and I'm just gonna whether that is the right play or not, who knows?
Okay, so Andy with his lamp is going to get through these dark rooms. See, there's the Lionel. It's funny because Zelga went around the top to avoid the fire bar that was very obviously there. And hit the Lionel. Andy can see the fire bar and where to avoid it, and is just like, yeah, I'm going this side. So Zelga's got the mirror out. Looks like he's gonna finish Eastern before he touches pod.
Yeah, and that is exactly what his teammate said he would do in the chat there. Dr. Marty with that insider knowledge there, just knows what his teammates are up to. Just on that same wavelength. That's why this team is in the conference finals here.
Andy gonna temporarily be up 2 crystals though.
This room got a little bit annoying, unfortunately. No two ways about it. That room is usually very annoying.
Well, this boss chamber is a bit smaller, so you're not gonna be really doing backdoor strats on Trinex here.
Andy keeping it pretty clean through that first section there. Now we're into phase 2.
Gets the double spin off, so he just needs 3 hammer hits. And there we go.
Yeah, looking good.
Oh!
Boy.
So Saba, where do you think the mitts are?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. So then now do you just leave Pendant Pod alone completely? Like, you've got other things you could be doing. Yeah. Quite enough stuff. This is honestly a pretty tough call.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're gonna need to do ice, but you also know the flippers aren't in ice.
Yeah, I mean, it's Dark Death Mountain. That's it, right?
Well, this is also useful because we'll find out what TR Medallion is.
Yeah, good point. A little bit of knowledge never hurts.
We still do need to find access to desert somewhere, and desert may still be boots locked. See how Zelga does this Trinex fight. I'm expecting it to go smoothly.
He's got the blue potion just in case things go south, but it looks like everything is under control here so far.
Well, when you have that much money, why not buy a blue potion, right?
All right, well, that was pretty dumb. Flute being in Super Bunny Cave here. Good play, Andy.
There's our desert access. So I wonder if Zelga will think the same thing when he gets the mitts and go back to the mountain.
Yeah, feels like this is like the right, chain of items to be following at this point. So hopefully he does. I mean, unless Pod's got some, secret thing hanging out in it.
By the way, assuming Book doesn't randomly show up somewhere, this could be a required triple climb of the mountain. Oh, and there are boots in Hype Cave. So, Dark Death Mountain is definitely the place to be today.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, you had to climb the mountain to get the fire rod, to go back down, to beat Trinex, to get the mitts, to go back up, to get the flute and boots, to do desert before you can do GT. But yeah, we are flippers from Go mode now because Turtle Rock is Quake, which we have.
Yeah, this is kind of escalated quickly here.
Which means unless flippers are in Pod, this is Andy's game.
It feels like that right now, yeah. I mean, don't discount that. Pod's got a lot of items in it, so yeah, it could kind of swing the game back for Zelga here. But yeah, Andy's on the right track so far.
I feel like, given how things have been going, flippers are in TR, or Mimic Cave.
Yeah, I would kind of agree.
Or else desert.
Yeah. Somewhere along the way, thanks to these items that he has already picked up here.
Yeah, I mean, we've already been into one pendant dungeon and it was completely worthless.
But yeah, but then do you start thinking that, like, there's got to be something in this other pendant dungeon?
Sunk cost fallacy?
Yeah. I fall victim to that all the time.
Oh yeah, chat also commenting, the longer Zelga takes to go up Dark Death Mountain, the longer Andy has a boots advantage.
Yeah, and that is a constant time loss that is kind of slowly accrues as the seed goes on. Alrighty, so what are we going to find over here on the right side of Pod? Still more keys, okay.
There's Tempered, that's something.
That's nice, okay.
Could be meaningful if Andy never finds another sword. Since it's hard, we will not find silver arrows, so Tempered Silverless is the best you can hope for Ganon.
Yeah, and while that doesn't make up a huge amount of time, it could save Zelga, or at least help him kind of make some time back up as this seed goes on.
Yeah, it could easily save, a minute plus on the Ganon fight.
Half magic. So Zelga's getting kitted out with, nice stuff, but not the right things, unfortunately.
Andy is skipping Lava Chest. Interesting call there.
Yeah, I wonder about how that's gonna play out. We'll see.
I don't think he got flippers while we weren't looking, or chat would have said something. Oh, wait, why can't flippers be up here? What did I... Was Samaria somehow flippers locked? Oh, Quake was behind... I see. I had totally forgotten where we found Quake. Oh, right, it was on Zora Ledge.
Ah, right. Well, I mean, that was like 40 minutes ago, man. You can't expect us to remember that. Cool.
But fortunately, Zelga did not take time to go to the pod boss. And he is heading for East Death Mountain, so...
Yeah, I think he's felt like he's invested enough time in another worthless pendant dungeon, so just the tempered sword and half magic as spoils from there.
But Andy's gonna basically be a full TR ahead.
Yeah, at this point, it's a nice little cushion that he's built himself. And with the flippers not being in pod, there's, the seed is definitely leading us, in it could be pretty linear at this point, and those flippers could just show up along the way.
Though I really hope Zelga does Hookshot Cave before going into TR.
Oh, yikes, yeah.
Because if he does all of TR walking, that's really gonna lose him some time. Okay, good. And meanwhile, Andy hasn't bothered to check the boss because we can just beat anything at this point. And it's Landmo.
Quick and easy there, very nice. 50 rupees, first troubles.
Oh, is Andy gonna do Hera Basement now? If so, that'll give some time back to Zelga. Oh no, he's grabbing the bottle. That
Gotcha.
makes sense. So, as we said before, though, flippers were the only thing we needed a while back that could still be on PED, and they can still be on PED. And we now have access to all 3 pendant dungeons.
Alrighty, and deactivating his flute here.
Honestly, if you're rooting for Zelga, you probably want clips on PED because Andy's gone a full clear pod before. Unless Book shows up and he knows it's on PED. Andy would full clear pod first.
A quick mushroom turn in here.
Hey, while we're at this lull, why don't you give these runners a follow? They are two of the top runners in the game. Always great to see two runners like this go at it with each other.
Yeah, most definitely. They are streaming on the regular, so definitely worth checking out.
Oh yeah, chat reminding us it could always be book on ped and then flippers on a tablet.
Oh, whoa, that'd be pretty gnarly. Alrighty, so we're just searching for the flippers here. Our runners are following a kind of a similar path here. Not, we've got kind of weird locations like you know, the hammer pegs and doing smith chain and stuff like that. But both runners choosing to kind of keep forging ahead and into new territory and dungeons and stuff like that, which makes a lot of sense.
Interesting call by Andy to get that fairy in a bottle when he already has a bottle of blue goo, but I guess he just wants to be really safe in Enemizer. And Desert is at least logically boots locked. We'll see if it's hard boots locked.
And just to clarify in chat here, it looks like Zelda dipped and did not do TR there. Just knowing that he's only looking for flippers, he's just going to leave that until the very end when he has to go to GT. So that's why it looks like things are really close right now. And they still could be close. This is still not over. But that's why it looks like Zelda's kind of gained all this ground back up. He's leaving TR till the end.
Yeah, so he's 2 crystals behind because he also has to go and do the back of Skull Woods. But yes,
Yeah.
boots confirmed, hard required for this seed.
Yeah, so for things to kind of even up a little bit, what we're flippers are going to have to be in some kind of unusual place um, for that Andy doesn't think to do for a while, which could give Zelga a little bit of time to catch up. But yeah, Andy's routing has been really solid. Things have kind of worked out in his favor here, and yeah, he's just motoring along here. Do we know what boss we're going to get here? Oh, look at that, a little one-eyed Moldorm.
Poor Moldorm. You feel bad for the guy. No depth perception.
Yeah, he seems very unfortunate when he's missing the one eye there. That really sucks for him.
And what do you know? Desert did not have flippers. Neither did Meyer area. So do you dip Meyer now?
Is it also Quake Medallion to get in?
Oh, right. I don't know. No, our tracker's saying Bombos.
Ooh, okay. So a goofy medallion leading to flippers in Meyer could be one little kind of wrench in the plans here.
Yeah, I wasn't counting items in pod, so I have no idea if pod boss has an item. Zelga also, like, thinking in, yeah, I'll take the second bottle with the fairy.
Yeah, why not? I mean, actually, when we look at what we have left to do on the map here, we're actually running out of locations pretty quickly here. So it looks, Andy's probably going to do the Smith chain, maybe. And then we've just got like a pyramid ledge and catfish. Just being locked out of, swamp and ice palace doesn't really give us much left to do.
Yeah, I guess you just kind of hope Bombos doesn't show up.
Yeah, Bombo showing up would make it weird. Yeah. And as Chad is pointing out, we have not seen back of Thieves Town. There's at least 1 or 2 items kicking around back there, so something neither runner decided to go for. Let's see what happens with that.
Yeah, both prioritizing Smith's Chain. I have a hard time seeing how Zelga's gonna come back, though, because even if we do need Ped, and Andy winds up full clearing pod in the process, it's gonna be faster than Zelga having to do Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's pretty good lead. Pretty good lead that Andy has built up so far here.
But stranger things have happened, and Andy still doesn't have Tempered Sword.
I mean, we were just saying earlier about how the first 2 games in this series, someone who looked like they were well ahead ended up losing the race. So, could we continue that trend here with Game 3?
Well, what's the trick item that could really trip up the runners at the last minute? We've seen Kane of Samaria do the trick. We've seen a Turtle Rock Small Key do the trick.
Yeah, who knows what it could? I mean, it's probably something silly with like the medallion. If we find Bombos, then things could get weird.
Yeah. Andy must be doing back of Thieves Town, though, because I can't imagine why else he's here.
Yeah, so it looks like Andy is making like a
Oh, he never did Graveyard Legend King's Tomb.
Okay, so doing these 2, then maybe going over to Catfish?
Right, we still haven't seen Catfish from either runner.
It feels like he's like hard committing to the idea that if Pod has it, like, so be it, I probably lost.
Lumberjack, spicy.
I feel like Zelga checked this and we didn't see it on screen, but he got a glimpse at 100 rupees. Okay. Okay, so we're seeing Zelga go for Pyramid Ledge and Catfish, unless he's going to finish off Pod. But no, he's not doing that. Okay.
Andy never did do Pyramid Ledge, did he?
No, he went straight for Eastern when we picked up those mitts a while ago.
That was just a shield. I mean, if it's on Catfish, Zelga hits go mode first. He's just down 2 crystals.
Yeah.
Not Catfish. I mean, what do we have besides back of Thieves Town at this point?
I think that might be it.
Pod Boss may or may not have an item I wasn't counting.
Ooh, Pod Boss having an item, yikes.
Oh, interesting. Catfish had our final sword. So there goes Zelga's sword advantage, too. But I think Andy's going to do pod first. This will give some time back to Zelga.
Yeah, it will, yeah, because Andy hasn't touched this yet. So I mean, that's it's a lot of checks to do.
What you really don't want to see is Bombos here in the back of Thieves.
Yeah, that'd be kind of unfortunate. The sea was moving along pretty nicely, and to have it derailed like that would be very unfortunate. Yeah. Of course it's...
Zelga's going straight to Meyer with that Bombos. That may have even been the last item. I wasn't counting items in Thieves.
That's so awful. Ugh.
Oh, I guess Zelga, while he's in the neighborhood, figures he'll finish off Skull Woods. Makes sense.
Right.
Don't want to have to take yet another trip here.
It's all our fault, guys. Yeah, we blew it. Sorry. Commentator's curse.
I guess Zelga is having a faster time of Skull Woods with the boots.
Yeah.
Now, that was a very nice dash up that hallway.
I'm surprised he got through that spike there. That was really cool.
Andy hovering, that'll save some time. That's one of the hardest hovers in the game.
Yeah, the switching directions one, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to line up with exactly the middle of the railing. Good trying some Samaria strats on blind. Doesn't work too well, so he's giving up and going to the Burna strats that Andy used. He does have a fairy, though, so he's not in any danger.
All right, there he goes. So what could cost Andy a little bit of time here is he might think about going all the way to the boss if there is still an item to be found there.
Yeah, we shall see. I have to imagine Zelga flutes to 6 now. I believe we did have one item in the front of pod, though, and that's 3 in just that part of the back, so the boss may just have a dungeon item.
Hmm. All right, we'll have to see what happens here.
But yeah, Meyer 2 sure becomes interesting in Enemizer.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Ooh, it is an item.
Oh, and we've got a second Trinex here, apparently. I didn't notice the map check, but I'll trust chat.
The R2 runners making their way through these dungeons here. Looking for the flippers still.
Okay, Zelga's got to go hit the switch next, since we didn't find anything on the first two Meyer checks. Big key in compass chest. Interesting.
And yikes, poor Andy getting bullied here by a room full of Henoxes, or whatever you're calling them.
That seems to like Henoxin.
Henoxin? All right.
Okay, there's one item and it's just 50 rupees. But Zelga does know his Meyer logic. The last remaining small key must be in the vanilla big key chest, and Biddy must have the well, not Biddy. Whoever the boss is must have the second item.
Ooh. So it looks like flippers are going to be here or on PED.
Or else book in one of those two locations.
Right, yes. So we're really getting down there. So the pod clear could help Andy out if it is pedestal, but yeah, we're still searching. Yikes.
So it looks like this is now going to be the back of Thieves play for Andy. So he'll get his bombos. I guess it could also be shovel.
Oh yeah, sure.
And wow! 11236 Zelgadissan is in go mode.
Boy, oh boy. Okay.
We have a race, folks. It's now Zelga clearing out Turtle Rock versus however much time it takes Andy to clear Meyer, and they both have to go mode Swamp and Ice still.
Yeah, it tightened up there significantly. So this is going to be interesting to see how this all plays out over the next 10 minutes or so as we race towards the finish.
Yeah, we're probably not going to know for a while because these runners will both do Swamp and Ice next. And yeah, so that must have been the last item in Thieves because both Zelga and Andy just immediately mirrored out when they got bombos.
Mm-hmm.
So I think regardless of who's actually ahead right now, it can come down to GT basement routing. It's close enough.
It for sure is close enough. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, in terms of, execution heading towards the end here, there's no, real advantage for either runner. A lot of the hovering sections have already been taken care of. So, it's just going to be Zelga and Andy duking it out here. Bombos really does help in that room there.
Amazing how good use medallions can be put to. And I always admire runners for thinking on their feet, especially in Enemizer, and just, oh, I can get this room done with a medallion.
Oh, really unfortunate with that anti-fairy there causing a little bit of grief.
Zelga's just gonna give up and move the statue. Wow. How often do you see top runners actually move that statue anymore?
Ay, taking the death there. He's got that fairy in the bottle, thankfully, but he's not doing himself any favors here. He's got to really motor.
Yeah, still, the death eats 10 seconds. Doing this the long way, if Andy can manage the diver down with that anti-fairy in the way, will eat another at least half a minute. Oh, Andy never got the key because he didn't know which enemy had that key.
Nice.
Sure, both of these runners are on nerves at this point. Zelga's sure on nerves, given his execution.
Yeah, with both runners essentially last locating that Bombos medallion, and then with the flippers being where they are, you feel like you wasted a lot of time doing kind of silly stuff that you didn't need to be doing.
So where are we on bosses? We've seen 2 blinds and 2 Trinexes.
No Argus yet.
Right, no Moth yet.
Mm-hmm.
And no Cold Stare. So between the 3 GT bosses and Ice Palace, we'll see those 3 bosses in 1 repeat.
Ooh, a little bit of extra time for Zelga here with Andy going for the vanilla big key chest.
Oh, he didn't read the key logic. This has to be a small key. Because if the big key's on left side, Vitreous can't have a small key.
Good to know. I'm going to file that one away, I think. Or is it the logic? Looks like some smarty pants in chat have a different idea here.
And we haven't run a prediction yet, so why don't we get a prediction on Ice Palace boss?
Cool, yeah, why not?
Just give people a way to waste their channel points, right? You have any thoughts, Sabo, about who the boss might be here?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I am going to say that it will be Argus.
I'm thinking Vanilla Cold Stare, personally.
Nice.
Oh yeah, chat's wondering if Andy's gonna, you know, take a death. I think he survives this, and doesn't waste 10 seconds on a fairy revive.
Oh
Armos
yeah,
Knights is easy enough.
I was gonna say yeah, Armos Knights should be no problem.
Oh, nice refill there by happenstance for Zelga from a fourth heart piece. And
Wasting
there's
no
Andy's
time.
go mode. So Andy's go mode a full 7 minutes behind Zelga. So I think if anything that gives Zelga a lead, TR does not take 7 minutes.
Yeah, if you're go moding it and you're really efficient, yeah, it's maybe a 5.5 minute dungeon. So yeah, interesting, interesting how the turntables.
Oh, and it's a repeat for all that. Another one-eyed Moldorm. All Moldorms in the seed must have the same number of eyes. Fun fact.
They can't catch a break. Alrighty, so Zelga is going to be heading up to do the Turtle Rock. Hasn't set foot in it yet, but we're go moding it, so I don't think the big key's in a weird spot. It's not in the vanilla or Lava Island chests, so and I think keys work out pretty good in the dungeon, so he shouldn't get tripped up by anything along the way. Andy hanging on to half a heart here. By not finishing the fanfare in Misery Mire, didn't get any kind of refill there, so left the dungeon with the same amount of hearts as he started it with, or was in the fight with.
Well, he does have that fairy too.
Feels like we might be using it.
I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't be playing with fire like this if he didn't have that fairy. You don't really want to have to blow a blue potion in Swamp.
Yeah, totally.
But now I can see why both of those runners actually grabbed the bottle out of Checkerboard Cave. And Andy taking after Zelga in Diver Down Room.
That's really funny. Like, you could see it coming, like the the anti-fairy was coming. You guys weren't going to do it fast enough.
But unlike Zelga, he does get the anti-fairy out of the way, does not have to take the long way around. Saves him a little bit of time, but Zelga's got his big key for TR now.
You forget at times that our runners here are on green mail, and then when a laser hits and half of Zelga's health is gone.
Fortunately, they have both Cape and Cane.
Yeah, those are items that are doing a lot of work for them today, for sure.
Interesting choice there by Zelga to use the Bloomerang, which didn't quite reach the switch the first time.
That definitely felt like a room where you're so used to doing, assuming that chain chomps are in that room, that you're like, how do I actually do this room correctly now?
Very nice, efficient key grab for Zelga there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out, on net, how did Zelga wind up ahead? Is it really just the time that Andy took to do Pod Boss?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, what was keeping Zelga back was the pod dip. And when Andy decided to make that dip, he gave all that time right back, I guess.
Oh, right. Chat reminding us also that Andy didn't read the Meyer key logic and did the cutscene there, so that handed Zelga some time.
Yeah, that was a little bit extra that helped Zelga out. But yeah, like the big swing it must have been just the pod dive and going all the way through to the boss. Helped Zelga kind of catch back up. Because, I mean, our runners have done everything basically at this point, so...
Yeah, they've pretty well full cleared the steed between the two of them. Except we don't know what was on Ped. Probably the book or the shovel.
I mean, yeah. We'll find out at the end of the seed. Stay tuned. Alrighty, so I mean, Zelga's almost through with the Landmo fight here and done with Turtle Rock. He's already up on the mountain, so that also helps him out here. Andy's going to have to climb after this. So he's got a couple minutes left in Ice Palace before he's on his way.
Yeah, so that gives Zelga a solid at least 2-minute lead. Wow.
Yeah, big swing here. So we got another prediction in the chat here. GT Big Key, where is it going to be? We've got 22 locations for that key to show up. Drosty, what do you think, buddy? Where's it going to be?
I mean, I'm always after my favorite chest of lower right rando room, but...
Ooh, good one, yes.
Which is either 10 or 14, depending how they route. Probably gonna be 14. You got a favorite chest?
Not really. I think I'm going Hope on this one. I feel good. Like it's going to be early.
The God Hope room?
I would love to see that. That's awesome. That's like my favorite GT. I don't have to do anything.
Well, I guess one thing in common for all 3 games in this series is we have seen late game lead changes in all of them.
Yeah, I mean, just thrilling stuff here. We were pretty certain that Andy was in front on this one, and it just turned on a dime here. And it still could with routing here in GT. Sadly, yeah, no hope for me. No hope for me.
Oh, nice. Whack the Hinox into the bomb as it explodes. That's was pretty
smart.
Swag.
Smart right there, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's always the chance that Andy does Dark Magician and it's in Compass Room.
That would be the big swing back for sure, and that would again turn this match if that's how it plays out.
Yeah, just to make clear that this is by no means a done deal, even though Zelga for the moment has a couple-minute lead.
Yeah, so it looks to be about 2 minutes right now is what we're looking at.
Yeah, so Andy's big hope would be doing Dark Magician and it's in Compass Room, but he may not do Dark Magician and it may not be in Compass Room.
every check that Zelga's doing here, the closer to that possibility we get, though. So, ooh, here we go. Andy's going left.
Oh, and we're gonna see the ice boss here, which has to be either Moth Argus or Cold Stare.
Wow, we could be in for one more exciting plot twist here. Let's see.
Yeah, if it's behind this boss, then Zelga's got a big lead. If it's in Compass Room, Andy has a small lead. Or it could always be in Tile Room.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty awful.
And Zelga having a bit of trouble with this Ice Argus.
It's not really a fun fight. But with the puffs gone, then it's a free, the door opens up there.
Yeah, so moment of truth here. It is on right side. The question is Compass Room or Tile Room?
Mamma mia.
And there it was in Compass Room. Andy has a very small lead, maybe half a minute tops.
So now it really is going to come down to execution. Both of these runners are excellent. We shouldn't see too many faults along the way. So, yeah, Andy's in the driver's seat now.
Wow. Well, we were saying about the runner in Go mode first falling behind, right?
Yeah, it keeps happening.
Oh, and Andy, because of his routing, already has 2 keys, and Zelga was thinking about getting the pot key there, but decides he'll just do it in Mini Helma Room.
I've often wondered what is the quicker strat there, to grab that key in that the pot key, or to do it up in Mini Helma.
Funny thing is, for those of us who've been around long enough, we remember a race that Andy won against Pink Kitty Rose in the main tournament semifinals because he didn't do Dark Magician and Pink Kitty Rose did.
So it goes both ways there, yeah. Both runners have a fair amount of health, so we're not expecting to see any deaths along the way. It would be pretty unusual. We could get caught up on a boss here, so we'll see what we got. Cold Stare should be pretty easy.
Yeah, so Moth's gonna be in one and Cold Stare will be in the other. Oh, right. Sorry, we already... Andy's already passed that Cold Stare. That was rather quick. So,
yeah, it went
Moth
very
at the top,
quickly.
then.
So Zelga getting a little bit caught up in a couple of the rooms here in the gauntlet, but the time gap between two runners looking pretty much about the same. No time lost or gained, really. If Zelga has a pretty good Cold Stare fight, he can make up a couple seconds here, but not too much he can do in the way of making up time.
Yeah, Andy already in the first Torches room. He's a full floor ahead of Zelga. Of course, anything can happen in the Ganon fight, and heck, someone can have a bad Aga 2 fight even. Though there's one of Andy's time saves. He has an extra key already. Zelga will have to beat an enemy in that last room to get a key.
Yeah, and with runners on green mail, just an unfortunate Ganon hug could make the difference. But ooh, a little bit of a risky move to go for a hover there. Have to get back up.
Yeah, especially with that spike over like nothing, and he's not trying the hover twice.
Still maintaining a healthy enough advantage, at least at this point here.
Yeah, Zelga has to do, I think it's the lever that's going to have the small key. Yep.
Nice looking Aga pattern there.
Wow, triple even.
Ooh, that could almost been triple.
Yeah. But 3-2-1 is still pretty nice.
Zelga made up a couple of seconds there on the moth fight, but Andy's heading into Ganon here. It's coming right down to the wire, but Andy is maintaining his lead.
And Andy still has his blue goo, and Zelga does not. So Zelga's got to be careful with his health, and Andy can be a bit more free. Wonder where Ganon will what Ganon will tell us about the silvers. Maybe they're in scenic Ohio.
Mm.
Oh, chat saying that Andy did drink his blue at some point. I guess I missed that.
Extra cycle there for Zelga, unfortunately. So Andy is through the hard part here. This is just going to be, routine for him. I don't see anything getting in his way at this point.
I mean, not getting the torch glitch, so he does need to watch his magic.
That will be something pretty interesting. I feel like, these runners, they know what they're doing, though. They're not going to let that happen.
No arrows for you today, sorry. But he does get the torch glitch, so he should be fine with magic.
Should be a nice triple here.
And Zelga gets the 1-1 for the first two phases. But yeah, barring a Ganon fall, Andy's got this now, but
yeah,
boy, has it been close.
Yeah, what a back and forth affair. And there we go. Ganon goes down. Looks like Andy's going to take this one.
Get your GGs in. Pugs goes up 2-1.
Pretty great race between these two runners here. Back and forth, lots of twists and turns along the way. GT routing was the difference maker.
So Andy's official race time is 1:37:54. Zelga's well into phase 4, so it'll be within a minute. Get your GGs in for Zelga finishing out this seed.
Wow, just a minute separating the two runners here. Pretty good stuff all around. So that's going to put Pugs up 2-1. Exciting stuff here in the league.
Official time for Zelga 1:38:49, so 55-second difference. Let's see if we can get them in here to talk about it. We are joined by both our racers, Andy and Zelga. GG's, guys. That was a heck of a race.
GG.
Yo, GG's.
I assume you had enough time to compare and figured that GT basement routing was what did it?
I mean, as soon as I had beaten Aga 2 and Andy wasn't done, I knew I was dead. Like, I thought he would be done by then even, but I was like, there's no way he hard last locations this big key and basically hard last location the flippers. So it was one or the other I figured was reasonable, not both.
I mean, if the big key hadn't been in Compass chest, Compass room.
Yeah. I really considered doing it, but I knew the bosses that were in GT, and like if there was a chance of something like an Ice Trinex or something, I would, or an Ice Vitreous, I'd be like, nah, let's DM just to be safe. But since I knew the bosses, I just rolled with it, and it happens sometimes.
But yeah, Zelga, one thing that helped you build the lead originally was remembering Meyer key logic.
Oh yeah, once I got to the big chest and the map chest, at that point I knew the last item had to be on Vitreous or whatever was there. That's true.
Yeah, I realized that as I like lit the fourth torch. I was just like, well, we're gonna open this chest anyways, so I can get mad at myself. Yeah, that was unfortunate, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I played this seed badly at all, and like I thought the early mountain play ended up being really good because I could just do like all the dungeons in my path, starting in Village of Outcasts with that early fire rod, and then like going straight to Dark Death Mountain after those mitts to get the boots felt good. So like I didn't feel like I really made any like poor decisions early, I guess. So I didn't think too much about the accidental cutscene.
Yeah, your routing early on was smooth sailing for sure. It looked like it was pretty clean, and everything was kind of coming together. So yeah, I would say that you ran it pretty well. And then just by the nature of the seed being kind of silly, it made it a kind of a last location fiesta.
Yeah, ultimately, you both ate some time doing things the other didn't. Zelga did Hera Basement, Andy did Pod Boss.
So
I was kind of banking on the Trinex, like, if somehow Zelga did like early pod play with Eastern or something without the fire rod yet. I was like, maybe this will be my out. But
yeah,
I was kind of thinking similarly. I kind of expected that you may not have done pod if you stumbled into the route. And at that point I was like, well, I can't go back to the Trinex there. So I'll just do everything else first.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if there's too much else to really get into about this. We kind of, it was just a back and forth. It was a really exciting race to watch because it was kind of back and forth for us as viewers watching it. So I don't know, were there any other just kind of like thoughts about the seed that you had or what? Yeah.
I think this was my best GT Enemizer climb I've ever done.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, other than that, I'm glad that this one, round 3, I've done this every single round so far. This one was not a sword go mode, thank God.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that was a pattern.
Yep. Yeah, so that was nice, and like when you're doing the boss shuffle, you do want to see all of the like boss killing items early, but like sometimes you don't because it like makes things more interesting. But like getting that ice rod behind Sahasral, and I was like, oh well, I can kill all the bosses now. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So looking ahead, now Pugs has got a 2-1 lead in this series here. Has their schedule been kind of laid out for the game 4 at this point? And do you guys, who's going to be running that for you guys? Do you have those kind of details for everyone?
We haven't even started the discussion, so
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea who's playing or what mode we're picking because it'll be on us to choose game 4. I have no idea how that's going to work yet.
Alrighty.
One thing I can tell you though, Daaanty really wants to do a co-op retrance race.
Yikes.
And yeah, this is also interesting. Like, Daaanty, maybe not the biggest entrance shuffle fan, but going into game 4 with an advantage, we could try to put somebody else that's not Daaanty, hoping to just finish it in 4. But who knows? Who knows?
Right on. Cool. We'll keep an eye on the schedule to see where that game lands on the schedule. I don't know, Dressy, you've got any more comments for our wonderful runners today?
I think we've covered all our bases here.
Excellent. Well, GG's again, guys. Great race. Really great to see execution in the Enemizer mode. You guys are rock stars, and all the best of luck going forward in the remainder of your matches in this series.